Hey everyone, it's Paul,
And Marcus.
and we just opened 6 packs of Star Wars Unlimited Shadows of the Galaxy trading cards. And out of those 6 packs, we have set aside all of the notable cards. I have 20 out of, 90 something total?
Yeah.
So it's about 21% of the cards, which is 1 in 5, were something that I had put in this notable pile. In order for it to be notable, for me, it was a hyperspace variant, a foil, a rare, or a legendary card. Let's dig in. You had the pre-release box, and I just had 6 packs.
So with the pre-release, it came with 2 specials, and we'll get those out of the way quick. One is the Mandalorian. His epic action is if you control 6 or more resources, deploy this leader. When you play an upgrade, you may exhaust the leader. If you do, exhaust an enemy unit with 4 or less remaining HP. Right, that's not a bad one. And his stats, 4 or 7. And on the back, you may exhaust an enemy with 6 or less remaining HP.
Nice.
When you upgrade, when you play your upgrade. So, that's nice.
So these are cool cards. I don't know if, yeah. I mean, you've seen, you flipped it over, and the front's foil, the back's not. But they are leader cards, and it's really neat to see these.
They have the hyperspace edge.
Yeah, pretty much everything you could want
Yeah.
as special cards as part of that pre-release.
All right.
That's awesome. These are in no particular order for me. These are just hyperspace variant cards. This first one here, Street Gang Recruiter. It's a nice looking hyperspace variant. It is just a common card. Text says, when played, you may return an Underworld card from your discard pile to your hand.
That over there. Well, my next card is a legendary. And it is a second chance. It is an upgrade you can attach to a non-leader unit. Attached unit gains when defeated for this phase. This unit's owner may play it from their discard pile for free. So that's like a bring back from the dead. That's always good.
And what was that? That was a legendary.
This is a legendary.
That is really cool.
So, and
I'm going to talk about maybe 2 here for now so I can catch up to you a little bit. So this card right here, this is another common, but it's a hyperspace variant. No bargain. It just states that each player discards a card from their hand and then draw a card. The other one underneath that is a rare. This is Chewbacca. No foil, no hyperspace variant, but rare card. Nonetheless, it's cool to see Chewbacca. We have Grit and Smuggle as 2 keywords on the card, Smuggle being a new mechanic.
right.
And the text, when played, is you may defeat a unit with 5 or less remaining HP when played. So that's really neat. You could simply play this card from your hand. Now, he is 8 resources, but as soon as you play him, he doesn't attack, but he defeats while entering exhausted, right? A unit with 5 or less remaining HP. So I imagine you have to spot that unit.
Does this say that's going to be a land unit? I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it doesn't say specifically, but I think the interpretation
Is which theater you're on.
Right. I mean, if you think about it thematically, Chewbacca's not going to be taking out any space units just because he entered the battlefield. But, all right.
Powerful right.
Not that powerful.
Yeah. All right. So my next card, it's another legendary. It's called the Dark Saber. And this is the card.
That's beautiful.
Very cool. And attached to a non-vehicle unit, while playing this upgrade on a Mandalorian unit, ignore its aspect penalty. Attached unit gains on attack, give an experience token to each friendly Mandalorian unit. So
cool thing, aspect penalty. If you were to put this in any deck you want, right? So if we read through this here, let's say you were to have a deck of cards that had a lot of Mandalorians in them, but it wasn't necessarily the command aspect. Then you would be able to
don't have to pay
play. Yep, you would be able to play them for just the 4 resources, just like any other card, instead of paying the 2 penalty. So it does make it a really interesting wild card to have if you are building a deck that you know has a lot of Mandalorians. And it also is very thematic in the sense that, one, it is a command card because it's the Dark Saber, and not to spoil anything, but if you've watched The Mandalorian, You'll know that it's a very important symbol for leading the Mandalorians. And so the idea that you can play with that card without the aspect penalty is really a perfect representation of the uniting of the Mandalorians. I will show my next card here. This card that I just put down is a common card again. Promise we're going to get some rares here. Yeah. This is just a foil common card, Cargo Juggernaut. It is shielded, which just means that it gets a shield token when played. And then it has when played text of, if you control another, I think it's force unit, heal 4 damage from your base. So
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a rare card. It's Dr. Evasion. Now, this has another of the new game mechanics, the bounty.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it says wanted in 12 systems. Shielded, when you play this unit, give a shield token to him. And the bounty, ready up to 12 resources when this unit is defeated or captured. Your opponent collects his bounty.
Yeah. So the bounty doesn't do you
the 12 resources.
any good.
Right.
The bounty does the other player good, in that if I were to defeat one of your characters who has a bounty on them, the bounty, think of it like this. A really powerful card might be playable for a low amount of resources. But in exchange, it's because he has a bounty on him, meaning that if I take him out, I get some sort of resource in return. And in this particular case, it says ready up to 12 resources, meaning that I could have spent all of my resources this turn. Then I take him out, I ready them again, and I can keep playing. Now, if you play this game, you know that the amount of cards you have is also an obstacle there.
Yeah.
Right? So you can't just, you might not be able to play all your cards, but if somebody's sitting there with a full hand and they just used all their resources and you played this guy, you might be in for a world of hurt when he takes that one guy out and then re-readies everything resource-wise and is able to play a lot of events in his hand or other characters in his hand that one turn. So
that is a tough one.
But it is a real interesting aspect. It's not an aspect, but in the game, it's neat because it does give the opportunity for you to play a card that might seem powerful at first for a low amount of resources, but have consequences that if you don't manage, could end up not going in your favor.
Wow.
So cool stuff.
All right. Spend the energy now, but you're going to spend it later.
Covering this next card up.
Oh boy.
I kind of want to just show it after I talk about this one.
All right.
So this one right here, this is another common. It is an upgrade. It is a hyperspace variant. That's why it's here. And it says attached unit gains bounty. Give a shield token to a unit. So the cool thing about this is it is 0 to play. But it gives you, let's see. It gives you a shield token.
Nice.
I need to read the rules on this exactly because it says attached unit gains bounty, give a shield token. Is that the bounty? If you take it out,
you become a bounty hunter?
No, you just have a bounty on you. So the idea is that, let's say I attach this to Chewbacca here.
Okay.
And you take Chewbacca out. This character now has bounty.
Yeah.
Which means that you get some sort of reward for taking him out. I think the reward might be give a shield token. But what does that do as a positive for that character? You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it gives him a shield now.
Right. So basically
for 0, but
tit for tat.
Yeah, you're gonna pay for it later.
Right. So yeah.
Okay, I get it.
At least that's how we're interpreting it for now. That might change. So don't take our word for it. But all right. So this next card, it is this Crate Dragon. It is a legendary hyperspace variant card. I will hold it up a little closer. It costs really 9.
Beautiful card.
Which is quite a bit. But I will read through what it has here. Now, it doesn't have any new keywords, but it does have the Overwhelm keyword, which, if we remember from the first series, Overwhelm means that if I do an attack, that the remaining attack goes towards your base.
Yep.
So if you have a character on the board, let's say we're trying to go after this Dr. What is that?
Avion.
Yep. If we're going after him, then he's got a defensive 3. So 3 minus 10. We've got the 6. 7. Then my math is... We've got the 7 that we can apply towards the base, which is really a neat mechanic. The other thing we have here is when an opponent plays a card, you may deal damage equal to that card's cost to their base or ground unit. So that is interesting. When an opponent plays a card.
Okay.
That's not something that I've read recently. At least, I don't know if I've read it at all, to be honest with you. When an opponent plays a card, usually it's when you play a card. Or when played, I should say. So I think what it's getting at is, I play this card. The next card that you play, I may deal damage equal to that card's cost to their base or ground unit. That is what it sounds like. Now keep in mind, this is 9 points, so, all right, I'm going to leave this other one on the top so you can't see what my next one is, but I'm not going to talk about the card again. This is another legendary. It's the same card, except that it's not a hyperspace variant. All right.
Well, my next card is a rare, and it's Bo-Katan. Freeze.
Yep.
Correction. If you attack with Mandalorian unit this phase, deal 1 damage to a unit. So if you attack with any Mandalorian, you can exhaust and deal an additional point of damage. If you put her in the playing field for 6 resources, on attack, you may deal 1 damage to a unit. If you attacked with another Mandalorian unit this phase, you may deal 1 point of damage to a unit. The same unit, or a different one.
Nice. And this is a leader card, so it makes sense.
Now, are these the same amount? Well, yeah, that's 6, 5. I thought they were a little less than the other one, but possibly not. I know the main characters, Vader and Luke, were a little higher. But
potentially, we could take a look at those in a little bit. I forget exactly what they were offhand, but I mean, when you think about Luke and Vader, and you think about these games and the mechanics and how they have to continue to produce cards,
right?
They don't want to, immediately make Luke and Vader less powerful than the Mandalorian and Moff Gideon.
Yeah.
Clearly, Luke and Vader are more powerful than those two. I mean, I say clearly, from a cinematic standpoint, that's my opinion. Surely others are welcome to have their own opinion, but that is, we'll have to compare the cards side by side and then make the determination from that. But all right. So I will place this down, and then here we've got this one, Enfi's Nest. This is a uncommon foil card, and it has the ambush keyword. So that means that I can play it and ready it at the same time. Or, yeah, so it's and then thus attack. So it says when you play this unit, it may ready and attack an enemy unit, which is great. And then it also says, while a friendly unit, including this one, is attacking using ambush, the defender gets -3, -0.
What?
So
takes your shields out, basically.
Well, it's -3 attack.
Okay.
So your attack back is less. So, if we were to go use this Dr. Den as an example,
I wouldn't have any.
He'd be out, and I would take 0 damage.
Okay.
So,
gotcha. Nice.
But if I were to attack, Moth or somebody, Bo-Katan, I would just hire.
It would just...
Well, no, she still would not attack.
Let's see.
What's his attack?
That one.
That's 4.
He'd only get a point.
So he'd do a point of damage back to me, but he'd still be in play. So, yeah. So far, things seem pretty well weighted. I'll turn it back to you. I'm going to consolidate some of these.
Okay.
In the meantime.
This is a hyperspace variant. Armed to the teeth. And this attached, this is an upgrade. Attached unit gains on attack. Give another friendly unit 2 attack 0 for this phase. And this has a smuggle option on it. And there. And the smuggle is a new mechanic also.
Yep. If you have a face-down resource with a smuggle cost, you can pay that cost to play it. Then put the top card of your deck into play as a resource, exhausted, to replace it. You can exhaust a card to help pay its own smuggle cost. So, right. So that just means that if this is a resource, you can pay the cost of 4 resources to put it in play. Yep. Plus, I think you have to exhaust a card of this type in order to bring it out of your resource pool and into play, which is pretty cool. Again, that mechanic is neat. Okay. I like it. It was unexpected because you look at like games like Lorcana, and you know, the inkwell is the inkwell. It does not change. Those cards are just ink. And in this, you know, I thought the cards were just resources. You see where I'm going with it. Anyway, all right, now it's my turn to show a card here. So we've got Han Solo here. Han Solo, this is a hyperspace variant. It is common. I really like this card though because it's young Han Solo. I was a fan of Solo, a Star Wars story, and I was happy to see a solo story, to be honest with you. And so that's really cool to see him featured on the art and for it to be a hyperspace variant. Pass it back to you.
All right, next card is a foil. Is a uncommon, and it is a unit, the L3-37.
Yeah.
It has another one of those smuggle features. Let's see. When played, you may rescue a captured card. If you don't, give a shield token to this unit. Captured card. That's different.
Yeah, that is a different mechanic.
Okay. And then the smuggle. If this card is a resource, you may play her for her smuggle cost. Replace her with a top card of your deck. Nice.
So the captured.
Yeah. Is that similar? I guess that wouldn't be bounty. That's something totally different.
It's different. Yeah. So, you know, it's versus taking a card out. The concept of captured is when a unit is captured, it is removed from play, defeating all upgrades on it and removing all damage. And placed face down under another unit, the guarding unit. As specified by the capturing ability, the captured card is considered out of play, but it is not considered defeated. All players may look at the captured card at any time. A unit may guard more than one captured card. When the guarding unit leaves play for any reason, the captured unit is rescued. A rescued card returns to play exhausted when its owner's under its owner's control. It is not played and does not trigger any when played abilities. So it seems there may be some cards that can capture cards on the battlefield and basically freeze them from play until somebody takes out that card that captured it. Or we'll have to look out to see if we can see anything that specifically says that it has captured. Did you say
This has rescue on it, so
it has rescue? Does it say rescue?
Yeah.
Rescue captured. So instead of,
you know,
so that we should really look for something that says captured.
Yes.
Or capture.
I want to find something there.
So here we've got just Tatooine. It is a common card. I'm going to show the next one because everybody can already see it, and it's a good one. And I think I have one or two cards more.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Yeah, this is the Give It to Your Anger. It is a foil hyperspace variant rare. All right. Pass it back to you.
Go into a sleeve.
Oh, for sure.
All right.
We're going to start PSA grading some of these.
All right. So here's another example of a foil hyperspace rare. This is an event, and this says choose sides. And yeah, it's just a really nice card. The actual text: choose a friendly non-leader unit and an enemy non-leader unit. Exchange control of those units. Does that mean you swap them out?
Huh. So this is a really cool card. I really like this card that you've got here, which I said when you pulled it. It says, choose a friendly non-leader unit and an enemy non-leader unit. Exchange control of those units. Yeah, that is interesting. It sounds like
They're like Benedict Arnold's choosing sides.
like you get to play. You don't swap them on the board, but maybe that person can't choose what happens with that unit now.
Huh.
I don't know. Those are things that we can look up.
They swap on the board. That would be.
I feel like that's like not kosher, you know? Like
Well, definitely not.
The point is that your cards always stay on your side. And I mean, in tournament play,
But if I had a
people
little,
would take a little bit of a, they wouldn't want you touching their cards.
if I had a non-leader, that was low on points, and you had one that just came out, I could
you
swap them. That
turn
would
them
be,
towards you. It doesn't matter.
that would be beautiful. So
But, okay. So what I will do then is pull this.
we'll have to look into that.
I'm going to move the cards to the side. Maybe you won't be able to see them when I pull this top one up. But this is Jabba the Hutt. He is a rare hyperspace variant leader card. Cool looking leader card. And on his, let's see, when deployed, another friendly unit captures an enemy non-leader unit. So this doesn't have a captured keyword or anything, but it does mention captured, and I think this is how this applies.
Oh.
So I have him on his vertical side, and it says, when deployed, another friendly unit, so somebody else that you also have deployed, captures an enemy non-leader unit. So that means that, let's say I have, somebody out here. Let's say I've got this, I don't know, not Han Solo, but let's say I've got another guy out here. He can capture one of your non-leader units, which means that unit now is not defeated, but he can't be played.
Do anything
until you take out the one that's...
So they rescue him or take the...
You can either rescue him or take out
the person who's holding him.
You got it.
Got it.
So that's where Jabba the Hutt can come into play. He only has 2 attack, but he's got 12 defense. Cool card.
Nice. Not as fun as Jabba, but Dengar, he's an uncommon. And he is the Demolisher. Ooh. An underworld bounty hunter. When you play an upgrade on a unit, you may deal 1 point of damage to that unit. When you play an upgrade on a unit, you may deal 1 damage to that unit. I don't know if he's helpful or harmful.
All right, so we mulled over this one for quite a while, but it turns out that you can strategically use upgrade cards to harm an opponent or manipulate the game. So this card, I think in the new set, might be a lot more relevant depending on what upgrades you decide you might want to play on an enemy. So this is really neat. I was very surprised to see it, and it definitely confused us for a few moments after looking at the card.
What do you got?
All right, we're taking quite a bit here, so I'll try to speed it up a little bit. I've got this Spice Mines, it's just a common... Actually, this is just a common card. I don't know why it's in here, to be honest with you. I'll push that one over here. No, nothing. Nothing from what I can tell. And this is... Nothing. It's not... It's just a shield on the other side. It's nothing special. Yeah. Here, though, we have Imprisoned. That is a rare card. It is a upgrade card. The text on this says, attached to a non-leader unit. Attached unit loses its current abilities and can't gain abilities. Wonderful.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay, wait. So, this is called Imprisoned.
Yes.
I would never play this on my unit. See? Right. So it seems like in the first series, you really only played upgrades on your own cards. But here, we could play Imprisoned on one of your cards. There's no way I would play that on one of my cards. I play it on one of your cards, and it says, attached unit loses its current abilities and can't gain abilities. So I would attach that to yours. Now, let's look at your other card. What does your other card say?
This one?
Remove all upgrades, right? Or remove an upgrade?
No, this says, when you play an upgrade on a unit,
deal 1 damage to what?
That unit.
Well, so if I were to play this upgrade on you, and I had that card, then I could deal 1 damage to you and play this upgrade. So what it's saying is, let's say I've got a bunch of these Imprisoned or similar upgrade cards in my deck, and that guy's in play. It's saying every upgrade I play on one of your guys, 1 damage gets done to him. So that makes sense. That's cool. It's different. I'm glad we figured it out. All right. I'll go ahead and pull out. This next one is a common card, but it is a foil. No text. It's completely empty. But hey, it was there. So, all right. You can go ahead.
All right. Let's see. Next card is a common, but it's a foil. And it's Relentless Pursuit. It's an event. And it says choose a friendly unit. It captures an enemy non-leader unit that costs the same as or less than it. If the friendly unit is a bounty hunter, give a shield token to it. Put the captured card face down under the friendly unit until it leaves play. More of the capture aspect than bounty.
Yeah, definitely some more to chew on with this set. And it's not the last set. So this right here is Cripple Authority. Draw a card. Each opponent who controls more resources than you discards a card from their hand. So, yeah, it makes sense. If you have more resources, right, you're authority.
Authority. All right, here's the hyperspace variant. It's just the Maz Kanata's castle, but it is a beautiful, beautiful card.
Indeed. We have here this Stolen Land Speeder. It is a rare card. It says, when played, if you played this unit from your hand, an opponent takes control of it. Interesting. If you played this unit from your hand, an opponent takes control of it. I guess that makes sense. It's a stolen land speeder. If you own this unit, play it from your discard pile for free and give an experience token to it. So that's the bounty. So basically, so when I play this unit from my hand, an opponent takes control of it. So you take control of it, okay, and then I can attack it, and then
That's a little complicated.
you can play it from your discard pile for free
Yeah.
and give it an experience token. All right, it makes sense. It's not that complicated. The idea is if I play this, you get it. Goes right on the board.
Okay.
As soon as I take it out, it goes into my discard pile.
Okay.
Once it's in my discard pile, I can play it for free and I add an experience token to it. So it gets additional attack. So the idea is that if I'm going to play it, you're going to be able to probably attack with it. One attack, though, with this guy is probably going to take him out, which means he goes back in my discard pile, which means I can play him for free. But it's an interesting mechanic.
To bring back from the dead.
Pretty much.
All right.
But you can only play it if it hurts you first.
All right. Here's another common hyperspace variable.
Variant.
Variant. I guess it wouldn't be a variable, but
They're all variables.
yeah. This has one of the mechanics grit and bounty. When played on attack, you may deal 2 damage to a unit with a bounty. So that's another way to take out bounties.
Nice.
Nice.
All right. I've got this card here. This is a common card, but it is a foil. It's called Slaver's Freighter. When played, you may ready another unit with power equal to or less than the number of upgrades on enemy units. But, it is a common card. It's still 5 to play, but it does look nice, and it is foil. So,
Very nice. Okay, next card. Merchant Company has Ambush and Overwhelm. So it comes into play, playable, and Overwhelm has a, throw some damage outside of it to the
Cool.
base.
yeah, it's always nice to see Overwhelm. And then, similar to that, in the sense that we have Overwhelm, is this Wild Ragnar. This is a rare card. And it has Overwhelm, but it also has, and this is a real kicker, deal 2 damage to each other ground unit. So, any other ground unit, and now the question becomes,
And that comes into play, or
who's ground units? Your enemies get ground units?
everybody's ground units out.
To each other ground unit. So maybe maybe you would only want to play this if you didn't have other ground units and your other person had a ton. You could deal 2 damage to all their ground units. But yeah, and it has Overwhelm, does 6 damage, has 8 defense. It's a pretty cool card. I think I've got one more. You've got a couple more, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and...
All right. It's a hyperspace variant with the smuggle option. Let's see. Another one with a Wookiee warrior. This has grit. When played, if you control another Wookiee unit, draw a card. And then we'll just do one more. We got leader card, Hondo, Onaka. It's a hyperspace variant. And these are all just common cards, but they are still beautiful cards with the hyperspace variant. Here's another common foil, Mandalorian Warrior. When played, you may give an experience to a token to another Mandalorian. So that's always good. And then, you want to play your last card? Or?
Yeah, so this is what's it called? I can't pronounce it. But it is an assault cruiser.
Let me try. Let's see. Oh, it's like Arquitans. Assault cruiser.
Yeah, that's when you find out it's pronounced like Arquitans, or
It might be
Arquitans.
Is it UIE or
UIE.
Oh,
UITE. Anyway, irrelevant. I'm sure somebody's judging us pretty hard for a lack of knowing what this is right off the bat. But it is a fancy-looking assault cruiser. It has ambush. It says when this unit attacks and defeats a non-leader unit, put the defeated unit into play as a resource under your control. There is a lot of card switching
Yeah.
in this new release. Something that we never did
No.
in the original cards. So, wow. I mean, I'm surprised by that. It is a crazy thing for them to do. But, yeah, that's everything.
Wait, I got one more.
Oh, you got one more?
My last one.
This looks nice.
It's only, well, it's a foiled hyper space variant, and is a protector of the throne, the Mandalorian.
Nice.
And while this unit is upgraded, it gains Sentinel. That's it.
Wow. All right. Well, that's awesome. We just went through everything here in those 6 packs, and it took us quite a while to go through just the nice cards in those 6 packs. So hopefully that gives you an idea of what to expect when you go out there and you buy your packs of cards. I'd say you've got about a 20% chance of pulling something.
Like 19, we got 19 each.
Or not 20% chance, but 20% of your cards. I mean, don't quote me on it. I have no idea what your percentage is going to be. But our percentage was around 20% were some sort of variant or foil or rare or legendary. But yeah, this has been fun. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Otherwise, until next time, see ya.